It was on April 27, 2020, on a Sunday to be exact, when I encountered the shocking news that the highly anticipated game Naughty Dog's The Last of Us Part 2 has been completely leaked from a supposed disgruntled employee at Naughty Dog because of a payment dispute and because of disgusting crunch culture. I was reading all these articles, watching all these YouTube videos, literally destroying Naughty Dog's decision towards their plot. And days later, we'll find out that every accusation towards Naughty Dog being naughty themselves and not paying their employees, and that one of their staff were actually responsible for the leaks that happened, were just lies, created by none other than a Reddit user just to make fans and neutral gamers lose their minds and blindly attack Naughty Dog before getting all the facts straight. But shamefully, the damage was already done. And The Last of Us 2 became, in the eyes of so many people, woke trash and basically the beginning of a lot of troubles for Naughty Dog.
Please stop! No!
Now, reflecting after a few days of just pure negativity coming from these devastating leaks, I just couldn't for some reason hate on this game or hate on this company. Even after what it seems to be a good chunk of the gaming community hating on this game, hating on this company, and completely giving up on it. And all these influential content creators spamming us every single minute with their angle on this situation, which was just mostly negative most of the time, and it was a way for them to get more views. I insisted in being positive, and I think I'm doing a good job at it so far. But it's very hard when some individuals, instead of trying to protect the community by reporting what these leaks are happening in the internet, or by not reposting the leaks at all they do is basically spread it even more so they can get pleasure out of the suffering of so many fans waiting on this game for years. And honestly, it's truly disgusting. It just seems like if you're excited for this game, you have thousands and thousands of other fans completely ripping on your opinion. And it's like you can't voice your excitement anymore. Or you just can't put your opinion out there because you'll get eaten alive in social media. Now, for those who feel like that and basically feel like they don't have a voice and are afraid to show excitement for this game, remember, if they have the right to give an opinion and trash on this game, you have the right to give your opinion and defend and wait and anticipate for this game. Don't let any other person take that away from you. Now, my opinion in this video could go completely against yours, or it could not. But I would love for you to give this game a chance, at least one chance. And I'm going to tell you two simple reasons why. And the first reason is very, very simple. This game isn't even out yet. Yeah, it's that simple. The game needs to come out first, so we can actually experience Joel's and Ellie's adventure. There's not going to be a better reviewer than yourself, the audience. That's where we're all gonna understand if this game is actually all woke and complete trash, like the internet is saying, or if it actually turns out to be a good game, with a good story, and gameplay that complements well with each other. And even if the leaks are out there, what's not the most important thing is the end. I think we all know that. The most important thing is actually the journey you go with these characters, and that's basically where the second reason lies. The second and the ultimate reason why you should give this game a chance, it's because it's made by the one and only Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog, for decades, has always put the experience of playing their games as their number one priority. It means having great gameplay that complements well with a compelling story. They rarely fall short, and I personally don't think they will this time, despite how divisive the fan base is right now. Now, just for 1 second, I want you, my fellow audience, to close your eyes and think about what comes to your mind when I say a Naughty Dog game. What game pops up in your mind, and what did it make you feel? You can open your eyes now. Now, I want you to take a look at some of the games they have produced throughout the years and see what it makes you feel, and if some of those games were actually in your mind a second ago.
elsewhere.
Okay.
Did you feel anything? Because I did, of course. Remembering all these PS1 and PS2 days with Crash Bandicoot and Jak and Daxter, those adventures I had as a kid, honestly, I'll never forget them. And what about the Uncharted series? Basically, console-selling games that changed the way we see and play games forever. Following the lives of Sully, Elena, and of course, the one and only, Nathan Drake. We saw him grow as a character, dealing with his past, feeding his ambition to find out about the biggest hidden treasures never ever discovered. Basically hitting an obstacle in every single direction he went. Nothing was ever easy for Nathan. I mean, his mother died when he was a young age. He was deserted by his father. And he tragically lost his brother Sam when he was a young adult, only to later find out that he was alive years later. During Nathan's adventures, every time he got close to a clue during his treasure hunts, he was always shot at by pirates, terrorists, and even paid men from rich people. Now, the story wasn't just about looking for a hidden treasure, because that would be kind of boring. But the story of Nathan Drake also had relatable moments that made it fun for us. They made it fresh. It made us feel for Nathan and the characters in Uncharted. The game knew when to emphasize with his relationship with Sully, with Chloe, with Cutter, with Sam, and many others more. But the most important of all was how we saw his struggles with his relationship with Elena. Ever since the first game, they've been on and off, to the point in which they got married and they got separated. We could see the effects of that in Uncharted 3. They eventually found their way back to each other, but we could see in Uncharted 4, their marriage was almost completely destroyed after Sam lied to Nate about his life hanging on the hands of Hector Alcazar, a well-known drug lord in Panama, and that they needed to find Avery's treasure soon. If not, he could die. So, Nate did literally the most Nate thing ever. And he, instead of trusting that his wife would understand about the situation, he lied to her about taking a legal Malaysia job and instead went looking for the treasure to save Sam's life. Only to later find out that basically it was a lie. And at the same time, Elena found him days later and tracked him down. So it basically complicated their relationship to another level. She felt betrayed. And you can see in her body language how disappointed she was that Nate didn't trust her. And that if basically he would have died in one of the adventures that he had to look for Avery's treasure, she would have never known. She knew that she couldn't trust Nate. Even after Elena tracked Nathan down again and saved his life, her body language was just showing how exhausted emotionally she was. She just couldn't take it anymore. And it looked like their relationship will eventually end. But then Naughty Dog showed us how relationships are very important to their games and gave us one of the most beautiful scenes in gaming history.
Wow. It's like a postcard.
Yeah, Libertalia. Come for the beautiful views, stay for the life or death gunfights. So what made you change your mind? You said you almost didn't come back.
Well, I couldn't leave when you were clearly in over your head. And, you know, there's that whole marriage vow thing.
For better or worse.
Yeah. For better or worse. Here. Give me a hand with this.
All right.
Okay. You know, even if you think that you're protecting me, you don't have a right to shut me out like that. No matter what it is, you're supposed to come to me so that we can work through it together as a team.
I know that. Really, I do. It's just...
You know, we should stay focused. There'll be time for this later.
Next stop, New Devon.
Thanks, Captain Avery. It's just like old times, huh? Elena? Elena? Hey! Hey! Elena, come on! Elena!
My hero.
Oh, no, you didn't do that. No! That's not funny!
Oh, you have done much worse.
Gosh, you gave me a goddamn heart attack.
Oh, let me listen. Sounds good to me.
You realize we're now even for everything I've ever pulled, right? Yeah, like ever.
No, not by a long shot. Gosh, you've got mud everywhere.
Anyone ever tell you you have a funny idea of romantic?
Yeah, I may have heard that somewhere before.
Good talk.
Good talk.
This scene, me as a husband, it just makes me feel happy that you can lose yourself sometimes, or you can not trust in other people. But at the same time, when you get to understand that family will always understand and will have your back, that's the best feeling ever. It's great that Nathan grew so much as a character in that moment. He finally realized that he could believe in his wife, Elena, and that she can understand the situations that he goes through. And later on, they understood that they're made for adventure. And that's, at the end of the day, what brought them together. Now, that's literally one of the reasons why Naughty Dog as a company is one of the best in producing games. The way they build relationships is incredibly unbelievable. Now, if we're going to talk about Naughty Dog's excellence in making games, we cannot forget about the game that literally changed the way we play single games forever and transformed everything to the point where, in my opinion, no game comes close to its story and how everything just melts together. And I think I know what game you guys are thinking about. And yes, The Last of Us. Ellie and Joel's emotional story was shown for the first time on June 14th, 2013 to millions and millions of people worldwide. A game so good, it changed how we think about games forever. A game that showed us a man in Joel who lost his daughter the day the virus struck his state in Texas. He lost his home, his family, his morality, and basically, he lost himself. 20 years later, he meets this little girl, Ellie, who was basically someone he was meant to smuggle out of the quarantine zone in Boston to a group called the Fireflies. Now, Joel finds out later on that Ellie is immune to the virus because she was bitten 3 weeks before they met, and she was basically still intact. And usually a person turns in between a day or two. While Joel and his partner Tess and Ellie all traveled to the destination where they were going to meet with the Fireflies, Tess was bitten, and she told Joel when they got to the place that they were going to meet the Fireflies. So she dies getting shot by Boston soldiers, and Joel makes his way out to find his brother Tommy, so he can find where the hideout of the Fireflies is. Joel and Ellie travel across all America in search for the Fireflies, because Ellie's immunity was possibly the only hope for humanity at this point. They killed hundreds of men that tried to harm them, hundreds of infected, with so many close calls. You could see how in every situation that Joel and Ellie were put in, they grew closer, little by little. And it's incredible how Joel didn't actually get to know how close he was getting to Ellie. Because basically where the game made it so clear that they were that close together and had so much respect for each other was basically when this happened.
Is this really all they had to worry about? Boys, movies, deciding which shirt goes with which skirt. It's bizarre.
Get up. We're leaving. Come on.
And if I say no?
Do you even realize what your life means? Huh? Running off like that, putting yourself at risk? It's pretty goddamn stupid.
Well, I guess we're both disappointed with each other then.
What do you want from me?
Admit that you wanted to get rid of me the whole time.
Tommy knows this area
Oh,
better
fuck
than...
that.
Well, I'm sorry. I trust him better than I trust myself.
Stop with the bullshit. What are you so afraid of? That I'm gonna end up like Sam? I can't get infected. I can take care of myself.
How many close calls have we had?
Well, we seem to be doing all right so far.
And now you'll be doing even better with Tommy.
Not her, you know.
What?
Maria told me about Sarah.
Ellie?
And
You are treading on some mighty thin ice here.
I'm sorry about your daughter, Joel. But I have lost people too.
You have no idea what loss is.
Everyone I have cared for has either died or left me. Everyone fucking except for you. So don't tell me that I would be safer with someone else, because the truth is I would just be more scared.
You're right. You're not my daughter. And I sure as hell ain't your dad.
Joel started to understand Ellie and embraced how close he has been ever since he lost his daughter, and how that has affected him for 20 years. He decided to take her himself to the Fireflies, and that's where everything changed between Joel and Ellie. Joel opened up so much with Ellie that this happened after Ellie was almost killed by a psychopath and a possible rapist, David.
I knew you had heart. You know, it's okay to give up. Ain't no shame in it. I guess It's not your style, is it? You can try begging.
Fuck you.
You think you know me? Huh? Well, let me tell you something. You have no idea what I'm capable of. Stop! Stop!
Fucking touch me!
It's okay. It's me. It's me. It's me. Look. It's me.
He tried to...
Oh, baby girl. It's okay. It's okay.
No.
It's okay.
This scene was just powerful. He even called her baby girl, just like he called Sarah. His love for Ellie grew so much, it's like Ellie became his daughter, and Joel became her father. But where we can all see how much Joel loved his little Ellie was when this happened.
I lost most of my crew crossing the country. I pretty much lost everything. And then you show up, and somehow we find you just in time to save her. Maybe it was meant to be.
Take me to her.
You don't have to worry about her anymore. We'll take care
I
of her.
worry. Just let me see her, please.
You can't. She's being prepped for surgery.
The hell you mean, surgery?
The doctors tell me the cordyceps, the growth inside her, has somehow mutated. It's why she's immune. Once they remove it, they'll be able to reverse engineer a vaccine. A vaccine.
But it grows all over the brain.
It does.
Find someone else.
There is no one else.
Listen, you were gonna show me where she...
Stop. I get it. But whatever it is you think you're going through right now is nothing to what I have been through. I knew her since she was born. I promised her mother I would look after her.
Then why are you letting this happen?
Because this isn't about me, or even her. There is no other choice here.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that bullshit.
March him out of here. He tries anything, shoot him. Don't waste this gift, Joel.
Get up. I said get up. Go on. Move. Where's the operating room? I ain't got time for this. Where? Top floor, the far end.
Joel couldn't possibly let that happen. He killed everyone he needed to kill. Like a desperate father, he took an unconscious Ellie and took away from humanity what was possibly the only cure. And now, I want you to relive that last scene and feel what a father would feel for his daughter at that moment.
Jesus.
Doctor?
What are you doing in here? I won't let you take her. Don't.
Fucking animal!
Carrie, shut the hell up.
Come on, baby girl. I got you. I got you. Oh, shit. Shit.
Over here.
I'm getting you out of here, girl. I got you. I got you. Come on. Tell me which way. We're okay. We're okay.
I said get back! Hey, stop!
You can't save her. Even if you get her out of here, then what? How long before she's torn to pieces by a pack of clickers? That is, if she hasn't been raped and murdered first.
It ain't for you to decide.
It's what she'd want. And you know it. Look. You can still do the right thing here. She won't feel anything.
What the hell am I wearing?
Just take it easy. Drugs are still wearing off.
What happened?
We found the fireflies. Turns out there's a whole lot more like you, Ellie. People that are immune. There's dozens, actually. Ain't done 'em a damn bit of good, neither. They've stopped looking for a cure. I'm taking us home. I'm sorry.
Wait! Let me go. Please.
You just come after her.
This is The Last of Us, a story of opening up, even to those who aren't your blood. This is what Naughty Dog is capable of. Now, after experiencing this emotional roller coaster once again with Joe and Ellie, with Nathan's legacy, How can we call ourselves true lovers of Naughty Dog's best games if we don't even give their newest and probably their biggest game ever at least a try? And yes, I do understand they have had problems with crunch culture, which for me is honestly disgusting that crunch still happens. But shamefully, this has been happening in almost everything you consume: video games, movies, and music. It's how the industry is, and we should want their employees to have lives instead of working countless hours with, in some cases, poor pay. It's just sad how biased the news is against video game companies, and not to everything, to make this more aware to everybody. Now, if we want to stop crunch, let's focus as a community to see how we can actually do it, or at the very least, reduce the amount of crunch that happens so that everyone can be happy. But now that the game is finished, there's no use of not buying this game just because it's product of crunch, because that would be incredibly disrespectful for those who designed and made this game possible. Look, in a few weeks, we will have in our hands what could truly be a generational game, and it can possibly be one of the best games ever produced. But if it's actually just utter trash and completely different from what I just explained that it could be a few seconds ago, then you and I together will fight until the end to get justice for what they did to the sequel. I'm not going to be biased and say Naughty Dog will always create good content, because at the end of the day, nobody stays on the top forever. But we cannot attack this game without having the opportunity to experience the whole thing, to play the whole thing, and to have proper judgment after that. We cannot make a decision now. It just wouldn't be fair. Let's judge it together when we get to play this game on June 19th. And don't let the leaks or negativity surrounding this game stop you from doing so. Because at the end of the day, what's actually more important is never the ending, but the journey. This was very hard to make because it's been just emotional reliving all this experience. I truly love Naughty Dog games. I truly love the first Last of Us, the Uncharted series. I love the stories, and I love the love that Naughty Dog puts into these games. And I just hate what has been happening to this company and The Last of Us Part 2 in the past couple of days. It's just very heartbreaking. All I want is for this game to prove people wrong. And all I want is just one more adventure with our beloved Ellie and our beloved Joel. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys next time.
Okay.